Okay, so we already worked out what hammer we're going to be using for this series, ball peen hammer. So let's go over some of the other tools that I would recommend you probably looking into if you're actually going to start off blacksmithing. The first one, safety glasses. When you're forging, you can get that that oxidization, the scale can fly off and hit you in the eye, so safety glasses. Second thing I would recommend is you're going to have to hold your steel somehow when you're getting it out of the forge. I would say a good pair of lock-in pliers, also known as vice grips. Use them until you can get a pair of tongs, or until you can make a pair of tongs. Now, obviously, if you have tongs and stuff like that, use tongs. Now, if you can't get a vice grip, you can get a pair of pliers, like lineman's pliers, to use with some of your smaller stock, especially flat bar. They're pretty good. I removed if I was going to use them to pull out hot steel, I would remove any rubber that might be for installation on the handles and stuff like that. But yeah, a good pair of lock-in pliers is what I would recommend until you actually get your tongs going. Next, wire brush. Now, this one is a block style. Really doesn't have a handle. Easily put a handle on it. I haven't on this, but you can get these really cheap. I think this one was like $5-6. Very handy to clean off your scale. Makes a better end product, I find, to clean off that scale. Now, if you want to leave the scale on, yeah, that's up to you. But good wire brush. If you want one with a handle, you can also get one with a handle. That's no big deal. I like the block myself, just because of bigger surface area. So, wire brush. Next, a good file. Highly recommend Nicholson as your file brand, and the file type I would recommend is actually a flat bastard, or they also known as mill bastard. This is Nicholson labels this as a mill bastard. Removes material very quick. Nicholson, I still believe, could be wrong, but up until a couple of years ago when I was doing research on files, Nicholson still uses a 1095 steel. So it is a steel that you can harden. So once you wear out this file, you can actually make a knife out of it, or any type of blade. So definitely Nicholson file. It is a little bit more expensive than your cheaper ones, but they last longer, and you know that it's good quality steel, and it's not just a case hardened file. So definitely spend the extra, couple of dollars or whatever for a Nicholson. So all this stuff that I'm showing, this is the hand tool section of what I would recommend to start off. I will put links as much as I can to these products online, like Amazon or where you can pick them up. So working out all the price, and I'll put the price up after this video, just so you can see what kind of budget we're still on. So we're pretty well almost ready to forge. There's going to be, the next video is going to be basically a little bit more optional power tools that I would recommend to start off with. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you on the next. Thanks. Okay, so there's two things that I would say is optional for hand tools, and I'm actually not going to add them into this series, but I am going to mention them just in case, just in case. So the first one would be a hacksaw. Now, the reason why I'm putting this as optional is because power tools that I plan on putting into my budget will actually make this not as useful. Now, if you're not having power tools and you're on a really small budget, this is probably what I would recommend to actually cut steel and all that. But you don't necessarily need a hacksaw. Especially if you get the next tool I'm going to say. you might not need it at all. But I'm going to mention it as optional because this might be something that you need to cut down your material. So the second optional one is a chisel. Now this particular one is a cold cut chisel, and that's just because, well, the taper that's on it. I'll go more detail into it when I do a chisel project with you guys. The reason why I'm putting this as optional is because these are really easy to make, and the steel is actually quite easy to get as well, at least where I am. And I'm going to be doing a video of it. Now, you have chisels or you're willing to budget for it, that's great. My first couple of projects won't actually use a chisel, but you know, we'll put that as optional. I won't add it into my overall budget because, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a chisel quite early on. So this might not be something you need, but I'm going to show it anyways. Yep.